Okay, welcome. So this is the Magnusson-Trebek trophy match between the Expats with Marius in seat 1, Anne in seat 2, Amit in seat 3, and Shane in seat 4. Amit is the captain. And the Victoria Phoenix with David in seat 1, Barry in seat 2, Mike in seat 3, and Gareth in seat 4. Gareth is the captain. We are playing a set which was set by Mick Logue for use in matches played 15th of May 2022, which is for you guys today. Okay, so players are politely reminded to have their hands in view at all times. You know this. We can get going, I think, with round 1. Question 1. We did a coin toss before I started recording, and the expat won and elected to go first. So we will be starting with Marius with the first question. Okay, good luck, everyone.
Have fun.
And have fun.
We will.
Okay, question 1, Marius. What procedural show, originally set in Las Vegas, has featured spin-offs called Miami, New York, and Cyber?
CSI?
This is CSI. Very good. Crime scene investigation. Okay, 2 points. Moving on to David, your question. Which tiny, wealthy European country is doubly landlocked?
Liechtenstein.
This is Liechtenstein. 2 points. Anne. Also the title of a book on the subject by Thomas Pakenham, what name is given to the period of conquest where rival European powers competed to rapidly acquire African colonies?
Since it's free guess, I'm going to say Age of Imperialism.
It's not. That passes to your team.
Scramble for Africa.
This is the Scramble for Africa. Yes, 1 point to Amit. Okay, Barry, this is your question. Also the surname of characters played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Harrison Ford in 1990s films, what is the first name of Elon Musk's full brother?
Harrison Ford.
5 seconds.
No idea, actually.
Nominate Mike.
Jones.
It's not Jones. Over.
Full name.
Marius.
Kimball.
This is Kimball. Yes.
Oh, very good. So, can I just say, is it 15 and 5 and 5 or 10,
Yeah.
5 and 5?
15 and 5. Yep. I gave you a 5-second warning.
Well, I thought it was a very short 15. I wasn't going to get it, but
No. I promise you I gave you 15. A little bit longer, I think. But okay, we go on to Amit. Which studio triple album was released by George Harrison on 27th of November 1970 and featured the songs My Sweet Lord and What Is Life? Five seconds.
Concert for Bangladesh.
It is not Concert for Bangladesh. Team?
And
All Things Must Pass.
All Things Must Pass is correct. Yep. So that's 1 point to Anne. Mike, this is your question. Which sometimes controversial psychologist who heads Cambridge University's Autism Research Centre formulated the mind blindness theory of autism?
Not got a clue. Dawkins.
It's not Dawkins. Team?
David.
Baron Cohen.
This is Simon Baron Cohen. Correct.
Borat.
Indeed.
Yeah, he is related. I think he's a brother.
Can't be that many, Will, for God's sake.
I think it's his father. Okay, Shane, this is your question. The All-Star 5, a selection of the best 5 men's basketball players from the 2020 Olympics, included which Australian point guard? He is currently signed to the Brooklyn Nets, but formerly of the San Antonio Spurs. Five seconds.
Simmons.
It's not Simmons' team.
Marius,
Paddy Mills.
This is Patrick Patty Mills. Very good. One for Marius. And the final question is for Gareth in this round. With a name meaning light dark in Italian, which painting technique features a stark contrast of light and shadow?
Forgive the pronunciation. Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro sounds legit to me. That is 2 points. So that's the end of round 1, and the scores are 6 points to the Expats and 5 to Victoria Phoenix. Okay, as we go to round 2, back to Marius. Question 1. Which general and marshal of the Soviet Union oversaw the defense of Leningrad during World War II and personally accepted Germany's surrender on behalf of the Soviet Union?
Georgy Zhukov.
Zhukov is correct. 2 points. Okay, David. The name of which chemical element is derived from the Latin for charcoal?
Carbon.
That is carbon. 2 points. Anne, this is your question. Which 1996 film about a boy who ages prematurely is widely regarded as one of the worst works of Francis Ford Coppola? Five seconds.
Powder?
It's not Powder, team. No answer. It's going to pass across.
Rumblefish.
Oh, no, it's not Rumblefish. Over.
Anybody got anything? Mask.
It's not Mask either. I'm afraid that goes for next. This is Jack. Jack. It is
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Oh, is that the Robin Williams? Oh,
Who knows?
Shut
Who
up,
can
Gareth.
say? Let's not speculate.
they wouldn't be so rubbish as to do that.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Barry, this is your question. After a bastardized Broadway version flopped in the 1940s, the off-Broadway Mint Theatre Company staged what they claimed was the first faithful reproduction of The Fifth Column, the only play by which novelist?
Crikey.
Five seconds.
Eugene O'Neill.
It's not Eugene O'Neill, team.
Twain.
It's not Twain either. Over.
Hemingway.
This is Ernest Hemingway, yes.
Good shout. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And Amit, this is your question. Which mountain, whose summit is further from the center of the earth than any other point in the world, is depicted on the flag of Ecuador?
Chimborazo.
This is Chimborazo. Mike, your question. Roche. Damn it. I read the wrong question.
Oh, you made a switch.
I made an
It
error.
happens, we get over it.
So which was the error there, Ewan?
I read 3B instead of 3A.
So hang on. So that
Well,
so
since
Chimborazo was Mike's question, yeah?
Yes. Sorry.
So the correct thing to do would be to ask Amit his
And
question,
then offer spare.
and well, either offer a spare or take on trust whether Mike would have known it. We would have definitely got it for one, because there were two fists up immediately.
Yeah.
Chimborazo is
Yeah.
famously on the equator, but that's the way to do it. But if the other team doesn't want to do that, then it would be a spare for Mike.
Mike, would
So
you
yeah.
have got
So
that
anyway,
question?
Amit's
But
question.
let's get the Amit thing out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Amit, sorry, the correct question then. In 1997, which computer developed by IBM defeated Garry Kasparov in a 6-match chess series?
Deep Blue.
This is Deep Blue, so that is correct. And Mike, would you have got Chimborazo?
Yes.
Is everyone happy to accept his word?
I am, yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you very
thank you.
much, and I'm very
Yes,
sorry
sir.
about that.
It happens, Ewan. It happens.
Concentrating
Happens
too hard.
all the time. To me, more often than most.
Dear me. Okay, 4A. This is question 4A. It's for Shane. Roll With It was the first single from what mega popular album, which also included such hits as Wonderwall?
What's the story, Morning Glory?
What's the story, Morning Glory? That is indeed it. 2 points.
Nice.
And question 4B to Gareth. Which herbal liqueur, which comes in green and yellow versions, is made by Carthusian monks in accordance with instructions set out by François Annibal d'Estrées?
Chartreuse.
It is Chartreuse. For 2 points.
Why don't those questions come to me?
That is the end of that round. That was 7 points to Expats and 6 to Victoria Phoenix, making it 13-11 in favor of the Expats as we go to round 3.
Love the mug, Anne.
Thank you.
Okay, question 1A goes to Marius. The 2011 documentary Like Water centered on which Brazilian mixed martial artist who set a UFC record with his 2,457-day reign as UFC middleweight world champion between 2006 and 2013? Five seconds.
Mauricio Shogun Roa.
It is not, I'm afraid, team.
Sorry, I
think know.
missed Marius's guess. What was Marius's guess, sorry?
I said Mauricio Roa or Shogun Roa.
Okay, Jones.
It's not Jones. Over.
I think I know who it is now.
De Silva.
It's Anderson
Yes.
Silva, not Da Silva. So I don't think I can accept that. Unless you think I can.
No, I just went for the most common Brazilian surname.
Yeah.
But perhaps I should have just said Silva.
You should have just said Silva. Yeah,
You
yeah.
Wait,
just
let-
said
wait
Silva.
for the-
But then it would have been Da Silva, and it would have been
But
sorry.
then that should
yeah.
have been a prompt if it was Da
Prompt,
Silva.
yeah.
It
But,
would have been
yeah.
a prompt
Okay.
if you said that. I'm sorry about that. That was very close though. Okay, question 1B to David. What sweet treat, typically made with red bean paste, is the traditional food of the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival?
Wait, could you repeat the question, please?
Yes,
I'm
of
sorry.
course, sorry. What sweet treat, typically made with red bean paste, is the traditional food of the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival? Five seconds.
Using up time to give the others a chance to think.
It's going to go
No,
to
I've
team.
no idea.
No, Mike.
Mooncake?
This is mooncake or
Oh,
yue
very
bing.
good.
Very good.
Where was Barry on the food and drink?
I know, I'm a bit rubbish there. I do apologise.
Okay, question 2A, Anne. Which composer, considered to be the national composer of Finland, is remembered for a work entitled Finlandia and for the Karelia Suite?
Sibelius?
Jean Sibelius is correct. Yeah. Okay, question 2B, Barry. Once hunted on safari by the sons of Teddy Roosevelt in an act that feels particularly anachronistic now, what animal is known in Taiwan as the giant cat bear? Five seconds.
No idea. I'm gonna have to.
I'm afraid that
Sorry.
goes to team.
Giant panda.
That is the giant panda. Okay, Amit, question 3A. What codename was given to India's first successful nuclear weapons test conducted on the 18th of May, 1974?
Smiling Buddha.
This is Smiling Buddha, yes.
Nice.
Mike, question 3B. Which telecommunications application developed by Jan Tallinn and other Estonians was released on 29th of August 2003 and lost a large slice of its market share to Zoom during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Skype?
This is Skype, yep. Very good. Shane, question 4A. Which Korean Netflix show set in the 16th century is based on a webcomic by Kim Yoon-hee and Yang Kyung-il?
The Kingdom.
This is The Kingdom. Very good. And question 4B to Gareth. Which exclave of Angola is bordered by both the Republic of Congo and the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Cabinda.
Cabinda is correct. So very good. That is the end of that round, which was 6 apiece to both teams. So the scores are 19 to the Expats, 17 to Victoria Phoenix. As we go into round 4, and back to Marius. Question 1A, Marius. Its name coined by Youssou N'Dour, which musical genre of Senegal and Gambia consists of traditional sabar drumming fused with modern musical styles such as pop and soul? Five seconds.
Morna?
It's not Morna. Team?
Afrobeat.
It's not Afrobeat. Over.
I don't think it is, but High Life.
It's not High Life either. This is something called Mbalax or Mbalach. Mbalax. So that goes for next. David, this is your question. What Japanese word refers to people affected by a modern social phenomenon in which people, usually male teenagers or young adults, become socially withdrawn and confine themselves to their bedrooms? 5 seconds.
Yeah, I've read about this a while ago.
I'm afraid that goes to team.
No.
Anyone? Nuri.
It's not Nuri. Over.
Shane.
Hikikomori.
This is Hikikomori. Very good. Shane, 1 point.
I was going for something that involved the word wank.
Don't forget we're being recorded, Barry.
We're being
Sorry, I
recorded,
do
Barry.
apologise.
It's
Okay. Question 2A. This is for Anne. Which country lost almost its entire men's senior football team in a plane crash en route to a World Cup qualifier in 1993?
I'm very glad I see some fists here. I'm actually just going to pass this. Yeah.
Okay, team.
Marius.
Zambia.
This is Zambia. Yeah. So that's 1 point to Marius. Okay. Question 2B to Barry. Which Australian state capital is known as Brisvegas to its admirers?
Sorry, can you just spell that quickly?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Brisve.
Oh, sorry, Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane. That is correct.
Welcome to the game, Barry.
Okay. Question 3A to Amit. Which comedy movie sequel, released in 1993, featured the tagline, "You'll laugh again, you'll cry again, you'll hurl again"?
Can I have the last bit of that tagline, please?
Yes. You'll hurl again. Hurl. Hurl. Five seconds.
Airplane.
It's not airplane, team.
Shane.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure.
It's not that, I'm afraid. Over.
Wayne's World 2.
This is Wayne's World 2.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
Okay. Question 3B to Mike. Shia Muslims recognize which relative of Muhammad as having been his rightful immediate successor?
Paying for time while our Islamist expert has a think.
5 seconds.
Nephew.
It is not, I'm afraid. Team.
Can't fetch it. David.
Sorry, do you want the name or the relation
Name.
name? Ali?
Ali is correct, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I wouldn't have known it, but I misunderstood the question. I thought you were looking for what relation they were rather than.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Yeah. I didn't understand the question.
Okay, question 4A to Shane. In 2019, at age 34, Sanna Marin took office as Prime Minister of which Nordic country?
Finland.
Finland is correct. And question 4B to Gareth. 944 Hidalgo, discovered in 1920, is considered to be the first known celestial object to fall under what classification? With a name derived from Greek myth, these objects have characteristics of both comets and asteroids. Five seconds.
Meteors.
It's not meteors, team.
Anybody got anything? No, we'll have to pass it.
Okay, over.
Centaurs.
It is centaurs.
Oh.
One to Amit. That is the end of the first half. That went 5-4 to the expats. So it is 24 to the expats and 21 to Victoria Phoenix. And we change orders for the second half. And I assume we're fine to keep going. So I will go straight on into it. Once I fix my screen here. Sorry about this. Okay, round 5. We start with David with question 1A. Which composer, known for such works as Peer Gynt, is considered by many to be the national composer of Norway?
Grieg.
This is Edvard Grieg. Yes, 2 points. Question 1B, Marius. Perhaps in retaliation for having been hunted for sport in the 1910s, what endangered species of lizard attacked investigative journalist Phil Bronstein in the Los Angeles Zoo in 2001? This large apex predator is a member of the monitor family. 5 seconds.
Komodo dragon.
It is Komodo dragon. Yeah,
Oh,
very good.
Nice.
I did not think that had much of a chance, but
Very good. Yes, Barry, this is your question 2A. What code name was given to Pakistan's first successful nuclear weapons test conducted on 28th of May, 1998?
Come on, guys, give me some sort of I don't know, anything.
5
I've got
seconds.
nothing there. No, nothing.
That goes to team.
Crescent moon.
It's not crescent moon. Over. Okay, I think that's time. We haven't got anything. That goes to X. It is Chagai 1. Chagai. Seems a bit harder.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
not quite as memorable.
yeah.
Okay. Question 2A is for question 2B
Hold on.
is for
Careful.
Anne.
Mhm.
Worst case scenario, I'd read the same thing again, but
Yeah.
just keen not to skip one. Okay. Question 2B. Stay connected is a tagline for which business-oriented communications platform released by Microsoft on March 14th, 2017.
Teams.
This is Microsoft Teams. Okay.
I thought you were asking us, Anne. Team?
Teams.
Teams? Anybody?
Back up here. Okay. Question 3A is for Mike. Which Korean Netflix show based on a webtoon follows Park Sairo-yi as he pursues revenge for the death of his father and tries to make a success of his restaurant? Five
Anything,
seconds.
guys? I'm going to say Squid Game, but I know it's not.
It's not. Team?
Family.
It's not that either. Over.
Marius?
Pachinko?
It's not Pachinko, I'm afraid. This is called Itaewon Class. Itaewon, Itaewon Class. That goes for next. And we go to question 3B for Amit. Equatorial Guinea consists of the island of Bioko and what continental region named for a river? Five seconds.
Ubangi?
It's not Ubangi, team.
Shane?
Rio Mooney.
Rio Muni is correct. Very good. Question 4A to Gareth. The Way of the Fight is the autobiography of which Canadian mixed martial artist who was UFC world champion in both the welterweight and middleweight divisions?
Okay, don't even get a gender. Okay. Ronda Rousey.
It's not Ronda Rousey, team.
Mike.
Gaethje?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Mike?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's something like Gaethje.
It's not Gaethje. Over.
I'll try Jones again.
It's not Jones either. So that goes for an X. The answer was Georges St-Pierre. And apparently I could accept GSP.
Gareth, I was going to go for Trudeau as a kind of generic Canadian surname.
I should have let you go, Barry. It would have been funnier.
Okay, and 4B to Shane. The major yearly Chinese festival that next falls on 5th of February 2023 is named for what objects? Five seconds.
Lanterns.
It is lanterns. Yeah, very
Get
good.
it.
Nice.
Okay, so that is the end of round 5. That was 7 to the expats, 2 to Victoria Phoenix. So the score is 31 to expats, 23 to Victoria Phoenix. Are we going to round 6 now? And back to David. Question 1A. What term, attributed to Arthur Connolly, refers to the power struggle for the control of Central Asia between the British and Russian empires in the 19th and early 20th centuries?
Great game.
This is the Great Game. This is also a great game. Okay, question 1B to Marius. What Italian artist of The Calling of St. Matthew is perhaps most closely associated with the use of chiaroscuro? His particular style of chiaroscuro was called tenebrism.
Caravaggio.
This was Caravaggio. Yep. Okay, question 2A to Barry. A live triple album was released on 20th of November 1971 and is credited to George Harrison and friends. It is titled as The Concert for Where?
Well, you'd imagine Bangladesh.
You would be correct. It is Bangladesh. Question 2B to Anne. Which Central Asian country, a former Soviet republic, is doubly landlocked?
I will guess, and then the person who knows it really can pick it up. I'm going to say Kyrgyzstan.
It's not Kyrgyzstan, team.
Marius?
Uzbekistan.
This is Uzbekistan. Yes, very good. Okay, Mike, this is your question, 3A. The All-Star 5, a selection of the best 5 men's basketball players from the 2020 Olympics, included which Spanish point guard currently signed to the Indiana Pacers?
Hernandez.
It's not Hernandez, team.
Come on, David.
Is it Pujols?
It's not Pujols. Over.
Gasol.
Sorry, could you repeat? You broke up there.
Gasol.
It's not Gasol, I'm afraid. The answer is Ricky Rubio.
Rubio, oh my God.
Yes.
Haven't been following him since he left Utah, so I didn't know he was with the Pacers.
Okay, question 3B is to Amit. Also that of a Puccini opera, what is the first name of Elon Musk's full sister? Five seconds.
Turandot.
It's not Turandot, team.
Marius?
Tosca.
It is Tosca. For a
Tosca
very
Musk sounds like she
tentative
ought to be a thing.
Bon Jovi.
Oh my God.
Gareth, this is your question for A. What procedural show has featured spin-offs called Special Victims Unit and Criminal Intent? A UK adaptation of this show ran from 2009 to 2014 and starred Bradley Walsh.
Law and Order.
This is Law and Order. And Shane, question 4B. Which psychologist, who has courted controversy for her contributions to several high-profile criminal defenses, is one of the world's foremost experts on memory and false memory, and wrote the 1979 book Eyewitness Testimony?
Jackson.
It's not Jackson, team.
Tracy.
It's not Tracy either. Over.
David.
Is it Blackmore?
It's not Blackmore, I'm afraid. The answer I'm looking for was Elizabeth Loftus. Loftus. Okay, so that goes from X, and that is the end of round 6. That was 6 to Victoria Phoenix, 4 to the Expats. So the score is 35 to the Expats, 29 to Victoria Phoenix, 6 points in it. As we go to round 7. Question 1A goes to David. Which Brazilian club football team lost almost its entire team in a plane crash en route to the 2016 Copa Sudamericana finals?
Oh, I'll try.
5 seconds.
Boca Juniors.
It's not Boca Juniors team.
Chapecoense.
This is Associação Chapecoense de Futebol. Chapecoense. Yep. Very good. Okay, Marius, this is your question 1B. What Japanese term identifies the social phenomenon of sudden death caused by overwork?
Karoshi.
Karoshi is correct. Very good. Question 2A, Barry. Which action movie sequel, released in 1997, featured the tagline, "Rush Hour hits the water"?
Speed 2.
This is Speed 2.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Cruise Control. Okay. Question 2B, Anne. In astronomy, what term derived from Greek myth refers to a small celestial body, usually an asteroid, that follows the path of a much larger body? Most of the known examples of these objects follow the path of Jupiter.
I'm going to say nymph planets.
It's not nymph, team.
Shane?
Trojan.
This is Trojans, yes. Very good. Question 3A. 3A is to Mike. In 2022, at age 36, Gabriel Boric took office as president of which South American country?
Could you spell the surname, please?
Yes,
Ewan?
of course. Boric. 5 seconds.
Chile.
It is Chile. Yeah.
Oh,
Very good.
Nice.
I actually realized I didn't know how to pronounce it. It could be Boric, I suppose.
He's of Croatian origin. So
Then
yeah.
that must be
Yeah.
why. Okay, yeah, I thought it might be. Okay, question 3B is to Amit. Sunni Muslims recognize which close advisor of Muhammad as having been his rightful immediate successor?
Abu Bakr?
Abu Bakr is correct, yeah.
Nice.
Question 4A, Gareth. Cape Verde singer Cesaria Evora, Evora, was dubbed the queen of which local musical style? Five seconds.
Moroni.
It is not Moroni, team.
David.
By Fado.
It's not Fado, over.
Marius?
Morna.
Morna is correct.
This is the this is the Morna.
And question 4B for Shane. Which Australian state capital's name sometimes has an R added to the front to make its first syllable rad?
Adelaide.
Yes, this is indeed Radelaide. Okay, that was the end of that round. That was 8-5 to the Expats. So the score is 43 to the Expats, 34 to Victoria Phoenix. As we go into the final round, round 8, we go back to David for question 1A. What 1977 musical featuring Robert De Niro as a saxophone player is widely regarded as one of the worst works of Martin Scorsese?
Ooh. Something like the Great American Picture Show.
It's not, I'm afraid, team.
No.
Barry.
All That Jazz.
It's not All That Jazz. Over.
And
New York, New York.
Yes, this is New York, New York. All That Jazz is by Bob Fosse and it's great, so I just don't. Okay, question 1B is to Marius. Triglav, or Mount Triglav, is seen as a symbol of what nation and appears on its flag?
Slovenia.
This is Slovenia. Very good. Question 2A to Barry. A computer program developed by DeepMind became the first to defeat a master of what game with its defeat of Lee Sedol in 2016?
No idea. Go.
You are correct. It is Go.
Oh, hello.
Question 2B is for Anne. Despite being published in 1918, what novelist's only play, Exiles, wasn't performed on Broadway until a 1970 production by Harold Pinter? Five seconds.
I'm going to say Mark Twain for this one.
It's not Mark Twain, team.
Yates.
It's not Yeats either. Over.
David.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
It's not F. Scott Fitzgerald, I'm afraid. The author of The Exiles was James Joyce.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
Well, that actually rings a bell, yeah.
So that goes for next. And we go on to 3A, which is Mike's question. Roll With It was the title of a song and album by what artist, also known for the hits Valerie and Higher Love, and for his time with the Spencer Davis Group?
Steve Winwood.
This is Steve Winwood. Question 3B, Amit. The name of which chemical element is derived from Greek for water forming?
Hydrogen.
This is hydrogen, yep. Gareth, question 4A. During World War II, which naval officer was Marshal Admiral of the Japanese Imperial Navy and oversaw Japanese forces at Pearl Harbor and Midway before meeting his demise when his plane was shot down over Bougainville?
Yamamoto.
This is indeed Yamamoto, Isoroku Yamamoto. And the final question to Shane. Which herbal liqueur, which was developed by Alexandre Legrand and reportedly has 27 different flavorings, trades on a concocted myth that it was developed by monks? Five seconds.
Absinthe.
It's not absinthe, team.
Cointreau.
It's not Cointreau. Over.
Barry.
Very popular in Burnley, Benedictine.
This is Benedictine. Very good. 1 point, Barry.
Penny and up you have.
Penny and Hearts, indeed. Indeed.
So
Don't
that was
see why it's
7-5 to the Phoenix, but the final score is 48 the Expats, Victoria Phoenix 41. So thank you all.
Well, guys.
good game.
Yeah,
Good
play,
game.
guys.
Apologies for my mistake there.
No problem.
That's
Yeah.
all right. The good
Well
thing
done,
is he didn't